Yeah, it is showing live on Facebook. Can someone check?
Yes, yes. It is live.
Okay, great. Because you can start the proceeding, it's just I think 6 o'clock hitting. With the permission of father, you can.
Father, with your permission, can we start?
Please go ahead.
Welcome, my friends. This is the 12th edition of SXCA Knowledge and Ideas Exchange Series. Also, this is a very happy day because it is the occasion of the feast of St. Ignatius of Loyola. I request Reverend Father Dr. Dominic Savio, President of SXCCAA and the Principal of St. Xavier's College, to kindly give the keynote address. Reverend Father Dominic Savio.
Very good evening to all of you. A warm welcome to all the delegates and participants at this webinar. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the national webinar organized by St. Xavier's College Calcutta Alumni Association on the theme Behavioral Changes in Financial Markets and Investment Opportunities in the Post-COVID Economy. We are glad to have with us Mr. Mayank Khemka, Chief Investment Officer, India at Deutsche Bank in Mumbai, and Mr. Naresh Pachisha, the founder and MD of SKP Securities Limited, East India's leading boutique investment banker. The unprecedented COVID-19 disease has ravaged the entire globe with its gigantic strength and malevolent outbreak. As per the reports, the identified perilous microscopic organism behind COVID is the coronavirus, which was first detected at Wuhan in China in December 2019, and has since extended its reach worldwide, forming a global crisis. The World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 outbreak a public health emergency of international concern on 30th January 2020 and a pandemic on 11th March 2020. The coronavirus pandemic, which was first detected in China, has infected people in 180 countries. Global markets have since recovered some grounds as governments have intervened. As the deadly virus started engulfing various countries with its evil intentions, many countries opted for various forms of lockdown at the cost of economic distress to slow the spread of coronavirus, and India is not an exception. Today, infections emerge, re-emerge, and spread around the world with such frequency that it is difficult to keep a list of them up to date. The coronavirus, the COVID-19 outbreak is causing widespread concern and economic hardship for consumers, businesses, and communities across the globe. The situation is changing quickly with widespread impacts. Most companies already have business continuity plans, but they may not fully addressing the fast moving and unknown variables of an outbreak like COVID-19. The typical contingency plan don't generally take into account the widespread quarantines, proposed school closures, and added travel restrictions that may occur in the case of a health emergency that could last for an extended period of time. Much the same way COVID-19 hits the people with the pre-existing health conditions more strongly, so is the pandemic triggered economic crisis, exposing and worsening financial vulnerabilities that have built up during a decade of extremely low rates and volatility. In the arena of financial markets, I shall focus on three potential weak spots: risky segments in global credit markets, emerging markets, and banks. Risky segments of credit markets have expanded rapidly since the global financial crisis. Potential fragilities include borrowers, weaker credit quality, looser underwriting standards, liquidity risks at investment funds, and increased interconnectedness. Since the beginning of the pandemic, emerging markets saw capital outflows of over $100 billion, nearly twice as big relatively to GDP as those experienced during the global financial crisis. While outflows have since subsided, this dramatic swing underscores the challenges in managing volatile portfolio flows and the risk this may pose to financial stability. The prolonged period of low interest rates encouraged both borrowers and creditors to take on more risk. The resulting surge of portfolio inflows into riskier asset markets contributed to the buildup of debt and in some cases resulted in stretched valuations in emerging and frontier markets. As a result, they have become more reliant on foreign portfolios flows since the global financial crisis. The COVID-19 outbreak is an additional test to banks' resilience. Once immediate crisis-related challenges recede, banks could resort to fee income increases or cost cutting to mitigate pressure on profits. But it may be challenging to fully allay such pressures. Meanwhile, while taking excessive risks to recoup profits may sow the seeds of future problems. It is therefore crucial that policymakers rapidly find a balance that safeguards financial stability and financial institutions' soundness while supporting economic activity. Various strategies to preserve and strengthen capital should be considered, including restructuring, dividend payouts, and share buybacks. Investment opportunities post-COVID-19. Post-COVID, India could be the brightest spot among the emerging economies. When it comes to attracting FDI, Make in India will become a success provided we prepare the ground and grab the opportunity. India, the world's fifth largest economy, with an abundant labor force, offers the best alternative in terms of depth and size of the markets. With a median age of 27 and around 900 million working age population, India is a young and aspirational economy. In the past, China used its huge labor force in manufacturing by attracting FDI. It's time for India to do the same, particularly when foreign firms are looking for an alternative manufacturing base. According to a UNDP report, India will have a working age population of 1.14 billion with rising urbanization and a populating middle class by 2025, creating a huge domestic market. India is also a resource-rich country. Therefore, India has its stage set to attract both market-seeking and resource-seeking FDI. However, simply opening the sectors or the economy and inviting foreign investors will not be enough. We need to create a conducive and favorable business environment that enables foreign firms to manufacture at a competitive cost and use abundant resources like manpower. We need market reforms such as rationalizing punitive land acquisition clauses and multiple labor laws, both at center and state level. It is time to speed up work on the 4 labor codes on industrial relations at a central level. The government should augment the work on infrastructure, logistics, and trade facilitation so that trade and transaction costs crucial for FDI firms are reduced. The need of the hour is also redesign and revamp CES and EB's policy for better performance. Though the reforms are very progressive at the central government and higher bureaucracy level, things are different at the level of state governments and lower bureaucracy, which actually matters when it comes to the implementation of projects and economic activities. It is time to train and bring about reforms at the lower bureaucracy level, which is not ready to give up their power. The FDA will not only augment capital formation, it will also act as a vehicle for technology, upgradations, skills development, export promotion, job creation, and the improvement of overall competitiveness of the economy. This is an opportunity for India in the post-COVID era. With an optimistic outlook, I wish to end my address through a prayer from Holy Scripture. Lord, I maintain my hope in you, and I hold on to the assurance that what I am praying for is already accomplished. Your word promises no good thing does. Ye withhold from those that walk uprightly. I wait upon you for your definition of the good thing. You will not withhold from me. As David prayed in Psalm 18:1, I love you, Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. We all know that hope is a powerful force. It can pull you from despair or fuel your dreams. With hope, anything is possible. Without it, life is a dull prospect. Embrace your inner optimist with a wise and insightful hope quotes below. Loving God, give wisdom and guidance to the scientists doing research that they may develop an effective vaccine to combat the sickness speedily and successfully. May the loving and merciful God be with us all to protect us and help us to overcome this most dreadful risk and danger in our lives. May God bless us all. Nigel Ultra. Thank you very much.